The Calgary Police Service Homicide Unit is releasing additional information about the death of 3-year-old Ivy WICK as the 1-year anniversary of her death approaches. At approximately 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday, September 27th, 2017, emergency crews were called to a home in the 5300 block of Rundlehorn Drive Northeast for a report of a child in medical distress. The girl, Ivy WICK, was transported to a hospital where she succumbed to her injuries on Thursday, October 5th, 2017. Doctors who assessed Ivy upon her arrival at a hospital do not believe her injuries to be consistent with a fall of any kind. Detectives continue to wait for results for additional medical evidence. However, an autopsy conducted by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner revealed that Ivy died as a result of blunt force trauma. Additional non-fatal injuries were located on Ivy's body and are believed to be consistent with physical abuse. Her death is being investigated as a homicide. Investigators have previously released that at the time of this incident, Ivy was living with her mother and her mother's boyfriend, who is not Ivy's biological father. Police believe that these were the only people with direct access to Ivy the day she was taken to hospital. Detectives have spoken with both individuals. However, their statements are inconsistent with the evidence that has been collected thus far. Given the injuries that Ivy has sustained, it is possible that additional people may have noticed signs of abuse or been aware of abuse prior to Ivy's death. Investigators are looking to speak with anyone that may have information about this case. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police non-emergency line, the homicide tip line at 403-428-8877, or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Thank you, and I'll take some questions.
You said that you're looking to hopefully speak to additional people who may have noticed any injuries in the ensuing days or weeks prior. Who exactly are you hoping to speak to? I'm assuming you have spoken to family members.
Obviously, there may be family members that we have not spoken to. I'm also encouraging anyone who lived in and around 5300 block of Rundlehorn Drive, neighbors that may have heard a disturbance, screaming, yelling, or may have had concerns for Ivy's welfare, noticed any unexplained bruising, any trauma to Ivy leading up to September 27th. So we're looking for anyone who had contact with Ivy, Ivy's biological mom or the boyfriend, probably 6 months, up to 6 months prior to her death.
Have police been previously called to that residence or had any dealings with Ivy or her mother or boyfriend?
I can certainly say that there has been some medical related events there. As far as police involvement, no.
Has there been any records of them taking Ivy to the hospital, previous to this for any, supposed falls, bumps, bruises?
Yeah, one of the things that obviously we're looking at is any injuries or events prior to this, and we're certainly working with the hospitals in relation to that.
I know you said their statements have been inconsistent, but how cooperative have the two primary people living together?
I would use the word uncooperative, and we do not believe their statements to be truthful.
What about the biological father? Has he been cooperative?
Yeah, we have certainly been in contact with him, and he does not play a part in this investigation.
Is there kind of a time frame that we kind of know? Like, is there?
Well, obviously, Ivy was admitted to hospital on September 27th. She passed away or succumbed to injuries on October 5th. We're certainly looking for anyone who had information approximately 6 months prior to September. Would be very helpful for investigators. As I mentioned, we have spoken to the biological mother and her boyfriend. We did give them an opportunity to tell us the truth, and we do not believe they're truthful at this time.
So you feel that there's some key evidence that somebody may have that can actually
Absolutely.
lay charges?
Based on the autopsy report that we have recently received, we definitely want to speak to people who lived in and around that area, other family members, or anyone that was concerned with Ivy's welfare. And we're certainly encouraging them to come forward, either to police directly or through Crime Stoppers. It's very important for our investigation.
You mentioned previously that elaborate on that, or do you mean medical incidents involving the little girl, or just in general stuff?
Yeah, we certainly have one event where Ivy was taken to hospital prior to this. So we're certainly working with AHS to determine the full nature of any injuries that she would have had at that time.
So you suspect it's been ongoing abuse, basically?
Well, what I can say from our investigation is that Ivy had injuries that were not consistent with what we believe is an accident, and obviously some of the injuries that she had we need to explain.
Maybe can you explain, I'm sure if there's anybody listening at home or some people here, you say that you believe there may have been abuse to this little girl prior, her death was not an accident, and the primary people you're looking at are not being truthful. I guess, why isn't there a conclusion to this?
We certainly have to gather as much evidence as possible. Certainly, a charge in relation to a homicide is the burden of proof is very high. We certainly want to gather all the evidence that's pertinent to this now, and then certainly we'll be in consultation with the Crown Prosecutor's Office, but we're hoping that other people may be able to further our investigation.
Could I assume that
Sure.
maybe there might be some older injuries that that explain may not be one, but there may have been, is that perhaps something? Can you talk about that?
I can't really get into the specifics of injuries because this is an active investigation, but I think it would be fair to say in relation to your question that we're certainly suspicious that abusive behavior was occurring, and injuries related to that behavior would be observed by family members or people that came in contact with Ivy.
I don't know the exact agency, but was the child services or social services called in?
Yeah, as far as other agencies go, certainly that'd be a conversation to have directly with them. I certainly won't be speaking for any other agency.